what's up you guys, this is Rob from the Gay Guy Plays, and today we're doing something kinda sorta new, when we drop the speculation and talk about the ability sets of two of our upcoming Warframes. Now as you all may know, I'm not the biggest fan of data mines, leaks, or other forms of non-official rumors. Sometimes they're just pictures, sometimes they contain placeholder information, or are just works in progress for something that may or may not see the light of day. However, when DE decides to release information themselves, now we've got something to talk about. So instead of wasting your time on what might be, let's take a look at what's been hashtag confirmed. Alrighty, so let's start with the currently nameless Archer frame set to release with U18. Now, the source from this one is a design council post, which draws out her skill set in order to paint a better picture for those of us trying to give her a name. While they state the details are subject to change, the recent dev stream makes it sound like they've got the mechanics nailed down, with Scott personally saying that quote-unquote functionally she works very well. So for those of you with access to the design council, definitely pop over and check out that post. Now her first power sounds very interesting. Holding down this ability opens up a secondary menu. Wait, what? How is that a thing? Where you can select one of 4 specialty arrows to launch. The first one creates a bubble of protection and stealth, the second creates a zipline, and the third uses an AoE attack to reset alertness levels. Now, I'm not sure how an AoE attack makes people less aware of you, but you know, DE logic. And the last arrow creates a noise that draws enemies away. Now, this offers some fairly interesting insight to the way they want her to be played, as they definitely seem to be incentivizing stealth. Her second power is the one that allows you to control a projectile and guide it to your next victim. Now, there's no further clarification as to whether the frame itself is firing the projectile, or if we will indeed be able to fire off player-targeted Tomcore grenades. Power number 3 puts her into quote-unquote stealth mode, where she gets increased headshot damage and gives enemies a chance to drop more loot. Now, when I first saw the word stealth, I instantly thought invis, but I have a feeling she may just reduce enemies' awareness of her. Regardless, this seems to go hand in hand with the new sniper reworks that are due out U18 as well. Now for her last and final ability, she summons a mighty energy bow that fires off a fan of arrows. So while I'm totally juiced over this, a big fan of arrows doesn't necessarily seem like the most subtle of approaches, so this does seem to be a little juxtaposed as compared to the rest of her skill set. Now, there has been a reference in previous dev streams that this would be similar to Excalibur's ulti, so it's a possibility that we may be looking at yet another toggle that draws its finalized stats from the weapons we've got equipped. Of course, until we have the frame in our hands, that is just speculation. Now moving on, in the most recent dev stream, the temporary Chinese exclusive frame Nezha had a full-on demonstration with ability page and all. And can I just say that I am very excited for that release. They did mention that they wanted to release him before the end of the year, which kind of messes up the whole male-female release cycle of Warframes. So for more information, I'll toss a link to the dev stream and what seems to be his Chang'e release trailer in the description for you mobile users. Now his first ability is Firewalker, which leaves behind a trail of fire that grants you bonus movement speed, deals damage over time to enemies that walk over it, and cleanses allies of statuses if they follow in your footsteps. It also has a very interesting synergy with his next ability. Blazing Chakram is his second skill. He hurls the disc on his back at enemies, which seems to function much like any standard throwing weapon, dealing damage and potentially causing an area of effect heal if he strikes his target dead. You can also reactivate this ability to teleport to the ring's current location. If you do so while Firewalker is active, it will deal damage in a small area of effect and deactivate Firewalker. Now I'm totally loving the synergy in this, including the fact that the intention behind him seems to be some form of offensive support. Next on the list is his third ability, Warding Halo, which creates a rotating burning disc around him that absorbs incoming damage much like Rhino's Iron Skin, but stuns and damages enemies who get too close. Now I am truly sorry Rhino players, because this, as well as his final ability, does seem to kinda shit on what you've got going on now. Hopefully the upcoming tweaks will show you a little bit of love, because even I'm cheering for you at this point. Now his last ability, Divine Spears, is seriously my fucking jam. It impales surrounding enemies and holds them helplessly suspended on spears until you kill them or toggle off the power. Now, the abilities window that they tossed up midstream actually shows that there are 2 instances of damage, one referred to as Impale and the other referred to as Slam. So this will either deal 2 instances of damage straight off the bat, or 1 instance of damage when activated and another when toggled off. But even though we did see it during the live stream, until we get it into our hands, this is just speculation. So basically what I'm getting from the skill set is that Nezha is going to be some form of highly mobile offensive support with a little splash of survivability and an interesting crowd control ulti, which I could totally get into. In fact, if they'd swap his release date with Wukong and get him to us first, I would be ecstatic. Now, there's a ton more to talk about, especially with U18 being right around the corner. From the sniper rework, the Second Dream cinematic quest, and the sortie linked missions, which will test both your modding and player skills. However, at this point in time, this is all we've got. #confirmed. So hopefully you enjoyed this little test run. For information that are things that are currently live in game right now, be sure to check out my recent review on the Mios, as well as my latest episode of Dress to Kill on Saren's Orphan Skin. Now, don't forget to do all the things that I asked you to do at the end of every one of these, and as always, stay tuned because it looks like there's gonna be a whole lot of penetration coming soon, here at A Gay Guy Plays. Oh, don't you worry, sweet baby. They'll get you a new skin, they'll tweak your abilities, and you will be, like, playable. At least until Nezha comes out. Then you're on your own, buddy.